You're standing at the edge of a moment that feels like the air before a lightning strike, thick, charged, undeniable. Something in you has always hummed at a different pitch, as if your very existence was tuned for a reality most people will never even glimpse. You haven't stumbled into this point by accident. Every unseen battle, every private reckoning, every time you refused to collapse when the weight pressed harder, those were the bricks that built this exact second. And now, in the hours ahead, the life that's been quietly preparing itself behind the curtain is about to step out, not with a timid introduction, but with a force that leaves no one doubting it was meant to be here all along. This isn't about luck, and it's not about chance, it's the moment the world adjusts itself around the truth you've carried from the start. A rare kind of soul walks among the rest, carrying a blueprint for breaking ceilings that others mistake for unshakable laws. The restraints that once shaped your life are loosening in ways you didn't anticipate. For months, parts of yourself that were never truly yours have been slipping away, quietly, almost imperceptibly. Behaviors you outgrew, illusions you once believed, connections that drained you, each has dissolved, leaving space for something far greater to emerge. If this message spoke to you, show some love, subscribe and drop a comment to let me know your thoughts. What you endured recently wasn't random turbulence, it was precision work on the deepest levels of your being. Life has been dismantling the scaffolding that kept you small, stripping away the noise that blocked your alignment. The sting of betrayal was really an invitation to see clearly. Closed doors were clearing paths you couldn't yet recognize. Even the solitude you resisted became a sanctuary where your own inner voice could finally speak without interruption. The path forward wasn't handed to you, it was carved. You placed each stone with your own hands, even when your arms ached and your spirit felt heavy. The foundation beneath you now is built from moments of raw honesty, quiet resolve, and silent promises you made to yourself. While many use pain as proof they can't rise higher, you allowed it to sharpen you into someone unrecognizable to your former self. Inside, an untraceable transformation has been working without pause. You've been rewired to hold more, see more, and do more than the version of you that existed just months ago. People can sense it without knowing why. They notice the steadiness in your presence, the certainty in your choices, the way the atmosphere seems to adjust when you walk in. Doors open faster. Opportunities appear in clusters. This is not accident, it is arrival. Yet, with arrival comes exposure. Not all eyes looking your way are filled with admiration. Some see your expansion as a mirror reflecting their own stagnation. They remember the days when you leaned on them for permission, when your steps were hesitant and your confidence negotiable. That version of you is gone, and their comfort left with it. The shift you've made doesn't just alter your life, it rearranges the dynamics of every relationship you touch. Those who quietly resented your potential will start slipping in remarks that carry a bite. You'll hear enthusiasm in their voice dim when you speak of your wins. Their absence in moments that matter will speak louder than their presence ever did. These changes are not warnings, they're revelations. Life is showing you the difference between those who stand beside you and those who stand in your way. The masks worn by those who fed off your uncertainty will begin to crack, revealing the hunger that was never for your growth but for your dimness. Every interaction now becomes a filter. The ones who truly belong will meet your rising with their own elevation. They'll see your transformation not as a threat, but as proof that the impossible can be lived. These are the allies who pour water on your fire only to help it burn brighter. The rest will drift to the edges, unable to survive in the clarity your light brings. Let them. Your next chapter requires space for those who can breathe in higher altitudes, where the air is thin, the view is wide, and the horizon feels endless. There was a time when outside applause felt like the proof you needed. Now the compass has shifted inward, pointing to something unshakable. The drive isn't about flashing achievements in front of strangers, it's about leaving an imprint that outlives every fleeting moment. The aim is permanence, meaning, the kind of work that weaves itself into generations. Where others chase quick bursts of recognition, the fire inside burns for depth, for the quiet knowledge that what's being built will stand when the noise fades. The focus has turned from display to alignment. This is no longer about impressing, it's about becoming a living example of your own truth until that truth remakes the space around you. There's a rhythm to your days now, a harmony that turns ordinary moments into sacred ones. Simple actions have gained weight, not for how they look from the outside, but for how they anchor your spirit. From this state of alignment, opportunities no longer have to be forced. The shift has opened channels where resources, allies, and possibilities flow without resistance. What once seemed locked tight now yields. The right people and moments arrive without you having to wrestle them into place. Intuition has grown into something undeniable, once a faint pulse, now a steady signal. Those sudden ideas, those flashes in the quiet, are more than imagination, they're precise directions. They cut through doubt and demand action, even when the path they point to looks strange in the eyes of others. Certain doors are pulling you in with a gravity you can't explain. This is where your natural strengths meet their perfect stage, where effort feels light, yet the results stretch far. It's not about trying harder, it's about stepping into a current that carries you exactly where you're designed to go. As this energy grows, it stirs the dormant in those around you. Some respond with inspiration, others with discomfort. Without meaning to, your presence presses on the parts of them they've avoided, and their reactions, whether sharp or subtle, say more about their battles than yours. Watch closely when the good news is shared. The silences, the half-smiles, the guarded tones, these reveal more than congratulations ever could. Notice who plants seeds of hesitation under the guise of caution, who tries to shrink your vision so it fits their scale. This isn't malice you're seeing, it's protection of their familiar walls. Your rise threatens the structure they've built for themselves, one where playing small feels safe. And while they may not admit it, your expansion proves those walls were never as solid as they believed. The map forward becomes clearer with every reaction you witness. Those who truly stand with you will grow alongside you, meeting your ascent with their own. The rest will fall back into the distance, making room for those who can breathe and thrive at the height you're headed toward. Lately the air around you has felt charged, almost electric, as if the ground beneath your feet was being cleared for a new chapter. Old connections, worn-out conflicts, and familiar tests have dissolved, only for different trials to step forward. Yet every confrontation, every sudden shift has been quietly forging a sharper edge within you. The weight of these recent moments wasn't meant to slow you, it was training you for the scale of what's approaching. There's a particular choice, action, or shift you made recently that's carrying more momentum than you realize. It might have felt small at the time, but it's been rippling through unseen spaces, gathering force. The rewards forming because of it aren't mild, they're the kind that shake your sense of what's possible. Consistency and courage have been your silent currency, and their return is coming in a form that will take even you by surprise. Those who've been quietly circling, looking for ways to weaken your stance, are about to collide with a truth they can't undo. The shield around you has grown so strong that nothing they throw can land. Their attempts to trip you only reveal their own imbalance. You no longer need to match their energy, their own intentions are folding back onto them before they can reach you. The repeating signs you've been noticing lately, symbols, patterns, alignments, aren't accidents. They're markers, reminders that you're standing exactly where the path bends in your favor. Each moment of recognition is an affirmation that timing, place, and readiness have finally lined up. A powerful shift is also weaving into your personal life. Someone is stepping into your orbit who mirrors the scale of your own transformation. If they're already beside you, the connection is about to ignite in a way that feels entirely new, erasing any sense of routine. Their presence will challenge what you thought partnership could be, opening a space where shared vision becomes as natural as breathing. This person isn't easily claimed, and they've resisted being shaped by others. Yet with you, there's no attempt to control or diminish. Instead, both energies expand. Together, the reach and impact you create become a living example of what alignment can do. What they bring into your life defies the categories you once believed in. Where you had boundaries against certain commitments, your instinct now leans toward openness. It's not because you've changed for them, it's because you've grown into a version of yourself that sees what's possible when the right power meets the right counterpart. Something rare is unfolding, a meeting of hearts that refuses to settle for ordinary. The connection coming toward you isn't here to entertain a season, it's here to redefine the blueprint. It carries an energy that shifts the air in the room, a partnership that becomes both shield and catalyst. Together, the two of you won't just walk side by side, you'll set a pace others struggle to match, creating a union that feels like a living landmark. For those already entwined, a renewal is blooming. Patterns that once dulled the spark are falling away, replaced by a deeper current that draws you back to the very core of why you chose each other. The days ahead carry moments that feel like rediscovery, as though you've stepped into a parallel chapter where the love is both wiser and more alive than ever before. What grows between you will not go unnoticed. People will sense the authenticity, the natural rhythm, the way neither of you has to diminish your light for the other to shine. And if you're standing alone now, the one entering your life may arrive from an unexpected corner, someone overlooked before, but now impossible to ignore, drawn in by the frequency you're radiating. Your relationship with wealth is undergoing the same transformation. Opportunities are showing up with an ease that would have felt improbable not long ago. Ideas that once seemed distant are starting to feel inevitable. You've stepped into a mental space where limitation no longer dictates the boundaries of your reality, and abundance is revealing itself in layers you didn't know existed. The foundations you quietly built are ready to bear fruit. Investments you forgot, decisions made long ago, even the smallest preparations are aligning to support a vision you once thought out of reach. Your home and personal spaces will soon reflect this shift, becoming tangible expressions of the inner growth you've achieved. This expansion reaches beyond material gain. New bonds are forming, whether through family, chosen community, or kindred partnerships, that align perfectly with your vision. Your circle is becoming a network of strength, each addition a mirror of the future you're stepping into. Scarcity will feel like a language you've forgotten. Not only will you have what you need, you'll have more than enough, multiplied in ways that rewrite your definition of possible. Victories will stack, each one creating momentum for the next. The way you approach success itself is evolving. No longer chasing with desperation, you're drawing it in with precision. The energy you carry is no longer about forcing outcomes, it's about aligning so deeply that results arrive as a natural consequence of who you've become. This is the season where your presence alone becomes a magnet for the right opportunities, the right people, and the right moments, without the exhausting pursuit, without the constant proving. It's all unfolding in real time, and it's only just beginning. A shift is moving through every layer of your reality, and it refuses to stay in one corner of your life. The expansion arriving now touches all fronts at once: your resources, your work, your relationships, your vitality, and your sense of purpose. Each area is rising to match the level of awareness you've stepped into. Strength returns to your body without you forcing it. Bonds grow richer without the weight of conflict. Ideas flow as if they've been waiting in the wings for this exact moment. Opportunities seem to arrange themselves at your feet without you having to chase. With this growth comes a sharper contrast, and not everyone around you will handle it well. The brighter your presence becomes, the more it will reveal what's been hiding in the dim corners of certain connections. Some will quietly seed doubt. Others will try to disrupt your momentum with subtle resistance. What they don't realize is that their reactions are only confirming what your intuition has already been whispering, that not everyone in your orbit is capable of celebrating your rise. Pay close attention to how people respond when you share moments of progress. A win for you should feel like a shared victory to those who care, but for some, it stirs discomfort. They'll downplay your achievements, shift the focus to potential problems, or dress envy as caution. They can't enjoy your season because it reminds them of their own seasons they never entered. Your instincts will guide you to test the depth of certain connections. You'll drop a hint, share a small success, or reveal part of a plan, not to boast, but to observe. Their reaction will speak louder than any claim of support. When someone shows you they prefer you unsteady rather than thriving, believe it the first time and act accordingly. You've reached a place where manipulation finds no entry point. Those who rely on control through fear, flattery, or guilt find themselves powerless against you. Your value doesn't depend on their recognition, and your decisions aren't swayed by their disapproval. This self-sustaining strength makes you the kind of presence that disrupts control systems entirely. Your boundaries have become unshakable pillars. When you set a limit, it holds. When you commit, you follow through without hesitation. Your word carries weight because it's backed by action. This kind of consistency unsettles those who expect others to bend under pressure. They will learn that you aren't here to be managed, you're here to lead. For some, your upward momentum will be a silent challenge they can't ignore. They'll attempt to dim your impact through whispers, withheld support, or strategic absence. The truth is, your presence now alters the atmosphere the moment you enter a space. When you speak, the attention shifts. When you decide, momentum follows. This isn't control, it's the natural result of walking fully in your own authority. Pain, criticism, and resistance no longer have the power to shrink you. You've developed the ability to take what was meant to break you and reforge it into something stronger. Every attack becomes material for your growth. Every setback becomes a source of creative force. What used to poison your spirit now fuels your expansion. And the ripple of your transformation doesn't end with you. The life you're building gives silent permission to those still holding back. You're becoming proof that it's never too late, that dormant potential can wake in an instant, that extraordinary isn't reserved for a select few. This isn't just about your elevation, it's about creating a path wide enough for others to rise beside you. There's a rare duality in the energy you carry now. It calms those who are ready to grow and unsettles those clinging to their limitations. To some, your presence feels like a safe harbor where they can breathe and expand. To others, it's an unfiltered mirror they'd rather avoid. You've stepped into a version of yourself that doesn't just speak about potential, it broadcasts it. The freedom you're living is no longer a wish, it's a constant state. The choices you make aren't driven by fear of loss or need for approval, they're shaped by joy, clarity, and purpose. Every area of life has loosened its restraints. Your finances serve your vision, your emotions no longer bend to guilt, your creativity flows without self-censorship, and your relationships are chosen with intention. Gone are the days of folding yourself into smaller shapes to make others comfortable. Your ambitions take up their rightful room in every space you enter. You no longer wait for someone else to validate your direction, you move with the certainty of someone who has measured their worth and found it beyond question. Though some might think your evolution happened overnight, you know the truth, it was built in increments. Each closed door pushed you toward a better one. Each moment of isolation sharpened your discernment. Every loss cleared the field for something that could actually grow. Every piece of the path had purpose. This maturity in choosing where to place your energy has nothing to do with pride and everything to do with preservation. Not everyone is entitled to your insight, your encouragement, or your time. You give where there is reciprocity, and you walk away where there is only extraction. The attention you've been sensing is about to magnify. Visibility will find you in ways that are undeniable, acknowledgement for your work, trust in your leadership, tangible rewards for the value you've been quietly building. What was once ignored will now be impossible to overlook. Doubt has been replaced with inevitability. You no longer wonder if you're worthy of the life you've envisioned, you understand that your preparation has already earned it. Questions about timing have dissolved, the answer is no longer someday. It's now, and you're ready to step into it without hesitation. The ones who once dismissed you are about to be confronted with undeniable truth. Acquaintances who rolled their eyes at your ambitions will be watching those visions take form in real time. Relatives who quietly doubted your decisions will be forced to acknowledge the clarity in your path. Co-workers who ignored your insight will see those very ideas bear results they never had the foresight to imagine. Even when you're moving at what feels like a relaxed pace, the ground you cover outdistances the full force of others' efforts. What you naturally bring to the table seems almost unreal to those who witness it. While others strain, you operate in a flow state that delivers outcomes they can't reverse engineer. Your sense of wonder is resurfacing, pulling you toward moments that exist purely for the joy of them. You're stepping into activities that light you up from the inside, new interests, unexpected adventures, quiet indulgences. This isn't distraction, it's an intentional return to your natural state, the frequency where opportunities gather without force. Care for yourself has become as essential as breathing. The time and resources you invest into restoring your mind, body, and spirit are no longer luxuries, they're the foundation of your endurance. You understand that sustaining what's coming requires you to be at your highest capacity, and you've committed to protecting that standard. Observers will speculate about how you've managed to create the life you're building. They'll wonder about the resources fueling your expansion, unable to comprehend that alignment itself has become your source. Doors open in ways they can't map. Funds arrive through channels they've never considered. The flow seems impossible from the outside, but for you, it's simply how the new reality works. Some will try to study your process, believing they can copy what you do. But what you carry isn't something taught, it's something you've finally stopped suppressing. Your strengths are embedded in you, and now that they're unobstructed, they create results that can't be replicated through mere technique. The moment you've been waiting for is no longer a distant horizon. Recognition is aligning with your name, and the opportunities marked for you are stepping forward. What was once imagined as someday is crystallizing into now. Behind the scenes, unseen forces have been clearing the tangles in your path. Connections that drained you have dissolved, old blockages have been removed, and energy once trapped has been freed to move in your favor. Now, the focus shifts entirely to activating what's next. The season of scarcity has ended. After enduring what felt like endless restraint, you're stepping into a cycle of overflow. The difference will be so swift and so complete that it will feel like waking up in a different life. This is the point where preparation meets timing, and timing meets divine orchestration, and you are standing directly in the center of it.